G'day. I don't know if that's how we want to start. Is that how we want to start? We haven't figured this out yet.
Intro, that comes down the line, you
Yeah.
know. We'll find an intro one day.
Yeah. All right, welcome guys to the show. No idea what we're going to call this, but we just hope you guys have fun, enjoy the show. Thanks for listening. We appreciate every single one of yous. Yeah, that's all I had to say to begin with. Oh, also, if there's a segment you don't enjoy, we're going to have chapters down below, so just like scroll through, or if you're listening on Spotify, we'll have like show notes where different times are. So don't worry, if you're bored, you can skip through, because we're probably going to be boring.
And feedback's crucial.
Exactly. Hit up those comments.
Facts.
All right, should we just jump straight into it?
I reckon we should.
Just get straight in the show. All right. So the other day, you and I were sitting in the car, and we were thinking, what should we talk about on the show? And I said to you, Josh, have you ever heard of the Nothing phone? And you answered with?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it before.
And we thought, oh, let's talk about this. And then we're like, no, let's leave this for the show. So Josh has actually never heard of the Nothing phone, and I reckon probably a lot of you guys have never heard of the Nothing phone, which will be interesting to talk about. So,
is it stronger than a Nokia phone? Is my first question.
I don't know. I don't think so. It's like a budget phone. Not a budget phone.
Gotcha.
It's like a mid-level phone. Anyway, hold on. Let me give you some context. So, do you know the phone brand OnePlus?
Never heard of it, actually.
Never heard of it. Okay. So OnePlus came around maybe like 2014? Maybe, no, I don't know. Somewhere between like 2010 and 2016. Someone fact-checked me on this. But they came around as like a flagship killer. So their aim was to make a flagship level phone for cheaper than what flagship cost. Yeah. So what phone do you have?
iPhone 12, not 13.
So you have the iPhone 12. That's a flagship level phone.
Yeah.
I have the Samsung A51 budget phone. What they were trying to do was price them at a budget phone level, but the specs of a flagship phone.
Oh, wow.
So that's OnePlus. OnePlus eventually evolved into this brand that's now on a similar level to Samsung and Apple, where they're like making flagship level phones for flagship prices. Anyway, the CEO and founder of OnePlus left OnePlus because he didn't align with the vision anymore, all this sort of stuff. And he created the brand Nothing. So this is where the Nothing phone comes into play. So recently, Nothing, the brand, came out with these earbuds called, I think, the Nothing earbuds. I can't remember exactly. Which are these little earbuds, and instead of them being like, you know AirPods, how they're like white with the like silicone tip, and you put it in your ear. Instead of having the white casing, it's clear, so you can see all the stuff inside. But instead of it being like crappy, like as if you just pulled off like your earphones, they've actually like designed it to be really nice. Anyway, so they've created a phone. And let me show you this phone. And I'll show you guys, and if you're listening to this, because, you know, maybe we're driving you home from work, if you're listening to this, then make sure you go check it out. But here we go. We've got the Nothing Phone 1. So this is a photo of the Nothing Phone.
This is the first time I've seen it, by the way.
This is the first time you've seen it, ever. So this is a photo of the Nothing Phone 1. So it is... What does this phone look like to you?
It gives me Apple vibes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. It really does. It gives me like that little logo in the middle.
Yeah. So let me bring this close to the camera. I don't know if you guys can see. I hope you can see. But if not, we'll chuck a graphic up. But basically, it's the exact same dimensions as an iPhone. So an iPhone 13 case actually fits on this. I was listening to a show called Lou Later. They're currently testing this phone. I don't think it's out on market yet. But this phone, and you can actually put an iPhone 13 case on it. It doesn't work with like the button placement and stuff, but specs-wise, it actually works quite well. Few problems with the phone so far that have come up.
Suing? Any Apple?
No, Apple hasn't sued yet, which I'm surprised about. But like, I feel like it's different enough that Apple, you know, a lot of smartphones look really similar.
You know how Apple like.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I can't actually hate on them today because they cleaned up my phone, they fixed it up, I had an issue, and they didn't charge me anything for it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
My charger wasn't working properly, so.
Yeah. They just fixed it.
Yeah, I showed the lady. She said, "Have you booked an appointment?" I said, "Oh no, sorry, I haven't." And she said, oh, hang on, I might be able to fix it. So she went in, she showed me, she got a brush.
Yeah.
She brushed on the inside, got an air pressurizer,
Damn.
put like the air pressure through it, and about 10 minutes later, she's like, I think I fixed it. And then I plugged it into there. I'm like, yes, you have.
Damn.
So
Wow.
I can't hate on Apple today.
But yeah, so this phone, I think it's priced at like $1,000 Australian. Oh, here we go. $749 Australian dollars. So that's pretty cheap for a phone.
Yeah.
And obviously it's got wireless charging, and there's all these lights that light up on the back. So it looks pretty hectic and futuristic. See this bit down the bottom? And if you're listening, there's a bit down the bottom that is like an exclamation mark in a light. That bar will actually go up to however far your charge is. So however far your charge is, when you're charging, it'll go up to that. So it's pretty cool. Like, it's a pretty cool phone. Couple of things that have been wrong with it so far. Apparently it's really slippery. So apparently if you put it down on like a little bit of a slant, it slides off really easily. And because there's no cases yet, there's nothing people can do. So like, people are smashing these. Apparently, I again don't know if this is on the market yet. I'm not 100% sure, but this is all the stuff that's coming out of like pre-market tests. So I don't know. This is the Nothing phone. It looks pretty good. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the phone? Like, would you buy this?
It's very interesting. I don't know yet. I'm personally someone, I think I'm going to wait and see kind of reviews. Someone else can buy it before me, if you know what I'm saying. And they can test it for me. But, like, if this iPhone ever goes bad after a while, a couple of years, I'm looking for a new phone and I've seen good reviews on it. Who knows? Definitely.
Yeah. I think, like, the thing with this is they've very much gone for the back design as, like, the key feature. So software isn't really the best. Camera's not the best. It's like the back is the feature. So it's like, I understand what they're doing, but I don't necessarily know that I would potentially buy it. But I don't know. That's the Nothing phone. If any of you guys know where to get the Nothing phone, hit the comments up. If someone wants to send us a Nothing phone, would love that. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else to add, Josh, or shall we just move on?
I don't think I can. No. Yeah, nothing else.
Just move forward. All right.
The line.
The line. Do you want to explain what that is?
All right. So basically, I can't exactly remember what country, Abu Dhabi or...
I'll Google
We'll find it. But basically what this is a city that stretches kilometers long, and it's basically like only probably a few kilometers wide, and it's really, really long. So it's like a line, like literally. Be like, if you imagine a line, it's the same diameter of that. And it basically, actually, hang on.
It's in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Like, let's restart that.
Yeah.
Let's restart it. I need a bit more info before I do this. Now I feel like I've stopped the flow. But we can keep this in. It's kind of funny. I have to admit.
Wait, do you want me to say something?
Hey, I just want to see how long it is, kilometers length and wide. About 170 kilometers.
170 kilometers.
Do you know how wide?
No, but it's not very wide at all.
It's not very wide at all.
It's like really, really thin. It's like, I think it's a few roads across. Like in terms of it's not all that wide, but it's the purpose of it is to be very long.
So it's about 170 kilometers long, and it only takes 20 minutes to get from one side to the other, which is amazing for the distance of it. And it's all AI run, and they've designed it.
Is it?
Yeah, all AI run.
I didn't know that.
Like, I don't know what system they have, but there's no cars on the video.
Wow.
And everything, your hospitals, your schools, whatever else you need that's important, it's all within 5 minutes walking distance. Everything. And they have like little individual towns and that like that. And yeah, it's amazing, to be honest. Like, I don't know if I'd live there though.
Yeah.
If I could be a bit creative, it can fit up to, off the top of my head, 9 million people.
Wow.
So.
And isn't it that like everything's supposed to be in like a 3D sense? So in a sense of like,
Yes.
It's not necessarily you walk down the road, but it's like, oh, the hospital's like 4 levels up. But then it's not like you have to take stairs up there. It's almost like, you guys know Harry Potter, where like they have all those moving staircases like that. I feel like it'd be something like that, where it's like, yeah, that's how you get around. But I also think the part of it that's really cool is it's supposed to be like preserving the natural land around it as well.
Yes.
So like that's the big thing, is they're trying to use the height of like the land rather than sort of like, I guess, creating skyscrapers, but the skyscrapers still have so much sort of like there's roads and stuff, and so sort of reducing that, and I guess reducing carbon emissions with reducing cars. And yeah, I think it looked like there were potentially solar panels on the
Yes,
outside.
it was all renewable energy.
Yeah.
It was all renewable energy. And actually as well, I think it's also because as the population is increasing, they're able to fit more people in a smaller area. And they actually did a diagram in the video I saw of what New York would look like if they did it. And it was
I saw
it
that.
really, like all the houses
Yeah.
around New York, one little line, it really made a big difference. Like if you saw it, like I'd say it probably looked like it reduced the land mass by 50% plus.
Yeah.
Like really, it was amazing.
And I think like, because that's the thing that's been scaring me recently is like, I think, you know, how much of this land are we going to use up building houses and roads and all this stuff? Like, where is there going to be that place where you can just go and you can hear nothing? Like, or you can just hear nature and you can't hear like a highway or roads. Like, you know, is that going to disappear one day? And I think this is solving that problem, I guess, using the height as well as the depth of somewhere.
Because one thing I did notice that was interesting was with all the COVID and everyone had to isolate, the nature and everything, it actually got a lot better. In a lot of cities around the world, and they like noticed a huge increase in animals and plants and stuff growing really well and really quickly, and stuff that humans had previously ruined, it was actually coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's something that like we need to learn from as a world, is that like there are different ways of doing stuff and we can live differently. And like when we live differently, it does make an impact, and I think that showed us that like there is that impact that we can make. So yeah, very cool. The line. Anything else you want to add?
Don't think so.
Don't think so? All right, shall we get into the reason you all clicked on this video? Everyone is here for this moment. Shall we talk about Gaul or shall we talk about the footy? Let's talk about the footy first, and we can
because we've got a good story.
And we'll leave, you know, the part that leads into Gaul till the end. So that
like
whole
it.
day, we'll leave that till the end.
I like it.
All right.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to read the upcoming draw in the NRL for this week. And Aidan here, we're going to see, he's not the biggest footy fan, but he's starting to get back into it. So we're going to give you our predictions on who's going to win. So the first game, Aidan, this Thursday, and it is the Roosters versus the Broncos.
I hope
at the SCG, sorry.
Oh, at the SCG.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope the Broncos win because I really don't like the Roosters. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Broncos. What do you reckon?
See, I can use a bit more analysis, mate. Like, I'm not trying to fight. I promise.
Big flex.
Hey, I promise. But
Yeah,
I'll try and explain this by, you know, for the diehard footy fans, but also for the casual footy fans who just enjoy watching the game.
Also, if you hate footy, just skip.
Please skip if you hate it.
But also, maybe listen and just listen to the glorious sound of Josh and my voices.
I think this is actually going to be a decent game.
Yeah.
One of their leadership players for the Broncos, Pat Carrigan, he's suspended for a couple of weeks, so he won't be playing. Hip drop tackle. It's basically a tackle where they come from behind in the tackle, basically, and they use their hips and drop on them, and it can get them in a really dangerous position.
Oh, damn.
So,
okay.
And the Roosters have looked pretty good. Broncos have also looked good. I think it's going to be a good game. I think I'll go Roosters. I think the Roosters. I haven't seen if they've got any injured players. I haven't really looked at much yet, but if the Roosters have a full healthy squad, I think they're going to beat the Broncos this week.
All right.
Next up, Melbourne Storm and Gold Coast Titans at Amy Park in Melbourne.
I mean, since I've watched my first footy game, the Storms always look strong. Like, I've never doubted the Storm ever since, you know, Billy Slater was at that number one position.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I hate the Storm,
Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid. I'm going to back the Storm in this one. I think you'd be tough to disagree with me here, Josh.
I'm not disagreeing. I don't want to have too big of a rant on the Gold Coast Titans, but I've been really disappointed with them this season.
As with every season.
I straight away when they let rid of Jamal Fogarty, one of their best players and one of their playmakers, the halfback.
I know what he's talking about.
I'm trying. Playmakers and halfback, because halfback's really crucial in rugby league because they're the ones that usually touch the ball and they're kind of playmaking and distributing to other people. So it's really important. So the Titans who let him go, it was a very bad call. You knew it straight away, but the Titans have actually come out and admitted that it was the wrong call.
Really?
Yes, they came out and admitted recently that letting him go was a bad idea.
Damn.
For a team that made the top 8 last year and was, I think what happened was they should have passed it to this big guy that would have gone over and scored Dave Fafita for sure in the semi-final. The guy didn't pass it, he got tackled, they lost the game.
Ball hog.
Again, I think it was against the Roosters, and I remember seeing the winger, one of the players, on the sidelines yelling at him like, "You should have passed the ball, pass the ball." They went from that, like a really successful season, to just 16th, bottom of the ladder, miserable.
Damn.
I regret tipping them one round when I thought they had a chance against Newcastle, and that really stuffed me up in my tipping comp. Now I'm only 3rd.
Ugh.
But yeah, sorry. Long story short, I'll go Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, good shout.
Ooh, the next game at Four Pines Park in Sydney, Manly versus Parramatta.
Gonna have to back my Eels. Eels all day long.
I like it. They had a strong performance last week.
They did, and we're going to get into that later on because there's a controversial incident that happened. That if you know, you know, but you're going to want to stick around for our takes on this because we got some controversial opinions on this. Neither of us have talked about it. I don't know if Josh has a controversial opinion. I don't really have all that controversial opinion, but it's going to be controversial. But yeah, I'm going to back the Eels. You know, Manly. I've only really watched like one game of Manly this season, so I don't have much to comment on them. But, you know, they're in 10th, Eels are in 6th. Eels are looking strong after last week. I think coming off the back of a win to the Panthers, you'd be dumb to tip the Sea Eagles. But, you know, maybe you're going to be dumb.
Okay. It's interesting. Manly are in an interesting situation coming from last week with the whole Pride jersey incident.
Oh, yeah. Will they have all their players back?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
I should have checked the team list. Sorry about this, guys. But depending on that, I think it's going to be a decentish game. You never know. Manly could. There's a lot of teams that have a tough loss, and the other teams had a good win, and that team gets a bit confident and cocky.
True.
And that team that had a tough loss, they get sick of losing, so they really step up.
True.
Well, they haven't lost too many games, actually. They only lost one game, but after one tough loss, you could say. I'll go Para on this one because they beat the probably the minor premiers twice now, 2-0 against them. So
confidently as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The first game I heard was it was a little close, but the second one was pretty good. They seem to have the wood on the Panthers, the Eels. I'll say that. They just the wood. They just always.
Yeah.
So that's a 76-year-old bloke at my work who when I talk footy to, he always says that term. They've got the wood on them means that, you know, there's a bit of a they like winning against that team. They always seem to win.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a decent game, but I've got Para.
Good shout.
Rabbitohs versus Warriors at Sunshine Coast, which is
what?
Near Gold Coast, yeah. Bit north of Gold Coast.
That's such a stupid place to play.
It's interesting,
for
I'll say,
New Zealand,
because New Zealand's obviously New Zealand, but they did originally play at Redcliffe, which is close to the Sunshine Coast, before they could go
Dolphins.
before they could go back to New Zealand.
Yeah, okay.
They're trying to promote the game, so they're playing at different places and stuff.
It's got a Perth team in here. I'm going to go the Bunnies. Bunnies looked strong last week against the Sharks. You know, what's his face?
Latrell
Mitchell. He looked dangerous. The man just couldn't kick a field goal to save himself. But other than that, Latrell Mitchell had a really good game.
I think they one of the things I think that they did that I didn't really agree on was putting Latrell into the centres and bringing Ko Nikorima the fullback. Nothing against Ko Nikorima. I just think Latrell in that situation needs to touch the ball more. Which he kind of in the centres was a bit away from the ball. A lot of those star type of players, you want them touching the ball. You want them getting involved because they're just freaks. They'll you know what I mean? They're just freaks.
He was making stuff happen. Every time he touched the ball, was like, oh, he could score here.
Yeah, so, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
So once they took him out of the ball game a bit, the game kind of, kind of stayed a bit stagnant for a bit. And I think they did eventually move him back to fullback in the end. And
yeah,
it was pretty good.
Man said it here first. Raiders, Panthers. So Panthers are going to be without who? Luai and Cleary against the Raiders. And what, the Raiders beat Titans last week?
Yes, convincingly.
Yeah. I feel like if there's any week that the Panthers are going to lose 2 in a row, it's going to be this week. Like, Raiders looked strong against a really trash Gold Coast side. But without Cleary and Luai, like, you know, what are they? They're just anthers. They don't have a P.
Okay.
I don't know. It. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to back the underdogs this time.
I like it.
Go for the Raiders.
Raiders, Panthers. Panthers, obviously, like we've said, missing 2 key players. But it's actually a good game, I think. The Panthers, you know, they won the premiership last year and they've only lost 2 games this year. Without Cleary, without Luai, they're 2 main playmakers for a reason. And whilst the Raiders have been red-hot form, Tarpany, absolute gun, offload machine, workhorse, he's a great player, Tarpany. I think the Panthers will get it done. I think they will. I think it'll be a good game, a close game. I think Penrith might just scrap over and get it because they've got a lot of good players. Everyone's always saying, "Oh, Luai and Cleary carry." True. That's Sean O'Sullivan. He's a good player. True. He's won games with them without Cleary before against decent teams.
True.
So yeah.
Sharkies versus the Dragons. I think, like, you know, Sharks will be kicking themselves if they lose it because it's at home as well, isn't it?
Yes, home game.
PointsBet Stadium. I mean, Sharks are looking good as well. Talakai is just a line break machine. He's just a freak of a human. Like, didn't do amazing in Origin, but for the Sharks, man is on his game. So, yeah, I think I'm going to back the Sharks here. The Dragons have just been a low-level team.
Yeah, the Dragons have been a little disappointing for their fans this year, but the Sharks, wow, I got them. To be honest, I really do think I put them second or first, really, for premiership contention. With Cleary and Luai out, I really think the Sharks, they're a good team, man. They're giving me 2016 vibes, and North Queensland are kind of giving me 2015 vibes, which is nice to see again. I think the Sharks are great this year, so I think they'll win pretty convincingly.
Bulldogs, Cowboys. This is just a bit of a, like, you know, no one cares game. Like, especially Cowboys. Anyone that goes for Cowboys, just loser.
I know.
Like, drop kick. Just hate those people.
Oh, those people, eh?
No. Legitimately, like, the Bulldogs, I feel like Bulldogs are really hit or miss. Like, either they're on fire or they're just sucking. And this season, they're just sucking. Josh Adokar, you did well with the Storm, but, buddy, come on. Pick up your game. Let's trot, bro. Come on. Stop singing. Start playing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't think I've watched a Bulldogs game all season. So, wouldn't have a clue. But I'm going to back the Cowboys in this one.
Okay. Yeah, fair. North Queensland, they've been good for once this year. They've made me happy. After 4 years of just losing.
If you can't tell, Josh, the Cowboys supporter.
Yes.
If you didn't pick up on
Went to the game last week against Dragons. It's the first time I've seen
Oh, yeah, how was that?
That was a good game. I would stand up on my feet, got some photos with some of the players after the game. Cohen Hess, Tom Gilbert and Scott Drinkwater.
Yeah, nice. Did you give him a bottle of water?
Did not give him a bottle of water.
Come on. Man was thirsty.
They're all nice people, of course.
And that was against the Dragons.
Jubilee? At Cogra, yes, Jubilee.
That's a crap stadium. That's a crap stadium.
Yeah.
But, we can get into that debate later. We'll get back to your Cowboys.
We did lose this team in round 1, and that's seriously when I thought this. I said to my dad, "This is going to be another year. It's another year of losing," and they honestly surprised me. Like, shout out to the Cowboys for all the work they did.
Big ups to the boys.
People have called me a pessimistic fan. It's sure, but I just don't want to get too confident and let my hopes down. Deep down inside, I have high expectations for them, but I don't show that.
So what he's saying is right now he's calling a premiership win, and if they don't win, he's promising a nudie run.
No. No, I'm kidding. No.
So you back in the Cowboys?
I hope so, yes. I'm really... all these wins and coming second kind of came out of nowhere for me. Last year they did win 5 games in a row, and then they just lost the rest of the season. So I've always still been a little bit nervous
fair.
for when they start falling off the rails. I was scared against the Dragons, but they did pretty well. So yeah, long story short, I have the Cowboys, but I wouldn't be surprised in all seriousness if Bulldogs cause an upset. They've started to hit back a bit. And I think Addo-Carr's been playing pretty well this second half of the season. Very unlucky not to get an Origin selection, but that's just me. And also, they're playing at Bundaberg, and it's a Bulldogs home game.
Is that in Queensland?
Yep, Bundaberg in Queensland.
That's not at the rum factory.
Probably. It's probably next door.
Bundaberg rum. All right. West Tigers Knights, bottom of the table clash for the last game of the season, the week. This is just a crap way to end it, but I'm gonna go the Tigers. Gotta back my Sydney team. Nothing more I got to say.
Yeah. Fair.
15th versus 14th. It's kind of a lame game.
I got Tigers pretty easily. Beating Broncos last week with their full team was great. Beating the Cowboys the week before, I said it, was also great. So, yeah, I think Tigers will easily win this one. Nothing else to say there.
Calling an easy win, all right.
Yeah, Knights have been disappointing, especially how they started the first 4 rounds and dropped off.
All right, we're being fully authentic here. Cut out at 30 minutes, so we're recording now. I'm going to double check that we're recording.
No joke, missed half an hour's worth of footage.
But honestly, it wasn't the best footage.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't miss out on much.
Yeah.
All right, so we just finished footy tips. We were going to tell a story, but we ended up telling it. It was pretty boring, so you guys don't need to worry about it. You're not missing out on anything. We're going to end here, though. With just a quick thing, we want to thank everyone who's been around. Don't click off yet. We want to thank everyone who's been around. We got one more thing to tell, and then we're going to leave you be. But thank you for letting us drive you home. Wherever you've been listening or watching this show from, we appreciate you. We're going to be making this as regularly as we can. We're not going to, put out times, dates, whatever. Yeah. But we want to feel your love, and if you're not loving this, then we're not going to do it. In a sense of we're going to do what you guys are vibing. So anyway, let's get into this last bit because we already did it, but it didn't work. So let's talk about most underrated YouTuber and your favorite YouTuber right now. Okay. So you want to go first with your favorite YouTuber?
Yeah, there's quite a few here. It's tough.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Your Rage Gaming.
Yeah.
He's been my favorite YouTuber probably for a while now. I'd say I've been watching Your Rage since, I remember, December 2019.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I love him. He's probably my favorite.
But
if you didn't know what Your Rage is, he does reactions to videos and
flight reacts.
Yeah, kind of like him. And plays games, but I like him.
Yeah, the boys. All right. My favourite YouTuber at the moment is probably Gene Nagata. Just love him. You might know him better as Potato Jet. That's his main channel. I love like really raw vlogs. So he has like 75k on his vlog channel. Doesn't post all that regularly, but yeah, I really love him. He vlogged every single day of 2020, which is something I want to try at some point. But yeah, I just love him. He's really good. Definitely check out his channel. Now, most underrated YouTuber I think is Jesse Driftwood's second channel. So Jesse Driftwood is part of what's called like the Dope Squad, which is like Peter McKinnon, Matty Hapoya, Chris Howe, Alan Pallandar, all these different people who live in like the greater Toronto area in Canada. And Jesse lives in like Hamilton, which is sort of southwest of Toronto. Anyway, so he has a second channel which has like 2k subscribers where he does skateboard tricks, where he like tries to learn the skateboard tricks, so it's not just him like compilation of the coolest skateboard tricks, but like he's actually trying to learn it, and it's like shots of him failing and stacking, and it's just like a really cool raw vlog. So definitely underrated. Yeah.
Nice. My underrated YouTuber, I'll probably go, I think it was originally Young Narrow Gaming, but I think he's now just Young Narrow. Shout out to him. He's probably one of the most creative people I've ever seen on YouTube, minus Mr. Beast, of course.
Boy,
but,
Jimmy.
Like, every time he posts a video, I say, how did he come up with that? Like, literally, seriously, like, he has some of the craziest things. It's a 2K YouTuber. I've been, part of the 2K community, you could say, watching YouTube and all that. It's probably since 2016, so watch all those guys. But yeah, I'd say Young Narrow, most underrated for me. His account did get hacked though, so recently his YouTube got hacked. He's just got it back. He's been at 200k subs for a long time now, but I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't got more. Really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the boys.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for bearing with us through those technical difficulties. We appreciate every one of you, and we'd love some feedback if you want. We'd love you to just hit up the comments. That would mean a lot, especially if you made it this far. Like, if you made it this far, you're like 35 minutes deep into a video/audio. So we appreciate you. Thank you for listening, and that's us for this week.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I'll let you know if you like and subscribe. I may or may not. I might buy you a free yacht. I might buy you a free car.
Man's got game.
You never know.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya. And then we need some sick outro music.